Hi everyone, this is Empress Rowena from Divine Soulful Healing, and I'm coming with a message today from the Divine Masculine regarding what he wants you to know. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe if this message resonates with you. And I'm also available for personal readings, so all of the information you need is below in the description box. Let's get started. What the Divine Masculine wants you to know. So the first message I'm getting from the Divine Masculine is that um, there was some kind of, he decided to walk away. He decided to walk away, and I kind of believe that maybe he walked away towards a third party or a karmic situation. Within the connection, he didn't think that your connection with him was it wasn't giving him everything that he thought he needed. And I'm just seeing him walking away with this kind of smug with this kind of smug feeling of, I'm going to see if the grass is greener on the other side, towards a third party situation that he thought would maybe bring him more joy than he had in the connection that he had with you. So that's the first thing I'm seeing in terms of the Divine Masculine. It wasn't that he didn't think that your connection was a good one, he just thought that he could find better. The next card I'm getting shows me that he walked away towards a karmic. There could have been a third party situation while you guys were together, and he had to choose between the Divine Feminine and a karmic. And so I just see the Divine Masculine walking towards this karmic, and I'm getting fire energy here, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And so I think he thought maybe the grass would be greener on the other side, and he walked towards this karmic, thinking that he had found someone that he could express his love to. I don't know if you and the Divine Masculine, the Divine Feminine, and the Divine Masculine had issues in terms of expression of love, or if he didn't feel like he could have expressed himself to you. It's a possibility that you and the Divine Masculine had issues in the past, with other third party situations, like that this has happened before. Perhaps the Divine Feminine had done something that made the Divine Masculine feel like he couldn't emotionally express or share with her. And as a result, the Divine Masculine decided that he was going to go off and do the same thing. So the Divine Masculine wants the Divine Feminine to know that this situation really isn't working out for him in the way that he had thought that it would. And he wants the Divine Feminine to know that he will come back to her in time, but right now she has to kind of find the strength to fend for herself within this situation right now, because he is off doing his own thing in his karmic relationship. And right now, Spirit is just letting me know that the Divine Feminine needs to stay strong. She needs to stay on top of the things that she needs to do for herself. She needs to take care of herself. I'm just getting taking care of your body, taking care of your spirit, taking care of your responsibilities in the 3D, and that this is something that is ultimately going to heal the Divine Feminine in itself, with her just taking care of herself and the things that she needs to do. This will ultimately bring healing towards you. And in a way, I'm feeling like this relationship that the Divine Masculine has with his karmic, in terms of learning to go off elsewhere to maybe express himself in a way that maybe he didn't feel like he could within his connection with the Divine Feminine, that this is a time for the Divine Feminine to heal herself and to heal parts of herself that possibly she didn't realize that she needed to work on until she was in a separation with the Divine Masculine. But by healing herself, that will inadvertently bring back the Divine Masculine. I also feel like for the Divine Feminine in this time of healing, that she could be getting some kind of financial, see some kind of financial improvement. There's possibly like a side thing that the Divine Feminine might decide to take on in the form of a new business, a new hobby that could possibly bring in financial gain. The Divine Feminine is healing, she's improving, she's being more creative. So I feel like possibly the Divine Feminine is just finding um, something else that brings abundance and prosperity into her life. But whatever this is for the divine feminine, I feel like it'll start off very small and then just get larger and larger and larger. So I definitely feel like the divine feminine is kind of in a place as she heals that she not only brings in financial abundance, but I'm also getting in this next card, the King of Cups, that she's also manifesting, right, love for herself. So I wonder if the divine feminine is actually meeting someone new who might bring in love towards her. And a lot of times when the divine feminine finds herself in a situation where she misses her divine masculine, but also has to choose between someone who is showing up as a king, as someone who is abundant in many ways, and someone who is able to express love to her that in the way that she's looking for. This might leave the divine feminine confused, and I feel like as the divine masculine begins to feel this connection, because twin flames are always connected to each other, they always feel each other's energies, and especially when there are other people involved in the connection or other people involved in separating the two twins from each other, that pull kind of like intensifies in a way to where both twins are aware of it. So I'm feeling like with this King of Cups that might be coming into the the divine feminine's life as someone new showing up, as the potential that the divine masculine is actually starting to feel that possibility come up in a way that will draw him back together. So a message that I'm getting from the divine feminine is that the divine masculine is that the divine masculine does want to come back in and apologize to the divine feminine for the things that the divine masculine has done in their connection. The divine masculine does not want the divine feminine to choose someone else and to go into another direction, like the divine masculine has gone into another direction. And as a result, I think it is making the masculine energy kind of wake up and realize that I need to do something before I lose my divine feminine. Yeah, and I feel like as a result of this push and pull, and as a result of the feelings that the divine masculine is having regarding these energies that are coming in with this Knight of Swords, he will come in, this masculine energy, and share with the divine feminine the truth about everything. Because I feel like in a way when he left, it was kind of in a way that was, it seemed like everything was okay in the relationship from the divine feminine's perspective. And then it was like he just kind of snuck off into the night and just left a relationship that didn't actually have any issues on the surface in terms of there wasn't a recent fight, there wasn't, a discussion of a breakup in the past. And he just wants you to know, as he kind of realizes that the divine feminine does have other options, that there are other suitors that are interested in her, that are worthy of her even. I think the divine masculine is just realizing that's not what I want to happen, and I need to figure out a way to get rid of this karmic, and I need to figure out a way to get rid of this karmic because I feel my divine feminine being pulled in other directions. I see her glow up. I see her financially abundant. I see other people are interested in her. It could be that he, has looked on your social media. It could be that he's heard from people that you know in common that you're looking good, you're doing better, things are, looking up for you in your life. Maybe you met someone, maybe in the comments on your social media, he sees another masculine making comments that are complimentary in some form or, in a way that kind of makes him feel like, wow, she does have other options. That's not what I want here because she's my divine feminine and I do ultimately want to be with her. I feel like that is going to spring the divine masculine into making a change, and he wants you to know that he does want to do right by you, and that he does love you and that he is sorry for what he did. And now that he's realizing that you will move on without him, it's kind of giving him the courage to come forth, be honest about what he did in the past and why he did those things in the past, so ultimately you guys can move on. But I just feel like currently, in wanting to say these things to you and wanting to give this truth to you, with his words, and wanting to communicate with you freely, he realizes that it is his, he realizes that he has involved another person into this connection. And so now he has to kind of go back and forth between, how does the divine masculine, how do I as the divine masculine rid myself, unburden myself of this karmic that I've now involved in my relationship with the divine feminine, this connection that we have. And I feel like he is in the process of just kind of like this back and forth process of trying to figure out how he can come back to you, how he can get into union with the divine feminine without leaving behind another broken heart, as a result of his decision to go back home. So I do feel like the divine masculine wants you to know that he is coming back home to you at some point. But right now he is kind of deciding how to come back to you in a way that you would actually take him back. Because I feel like the way that he walked away from you was so sudden, without any kind of warning, to where it jolted the divine feminine into feeling like, what do I do now? What do I do now that my divine masculine has just completely left me for someone else? And I get to see that, and I feel this hurt and this embarrassment and all of the things that divine feminines feel in these types of situations where they feel rejected by their divine counterpart. I think what, the divine masculine wants you to know, and what spirit wants you to know, is that you have found your strength, right? You have flourished even on your own without the divine masculine in your life. You have flourished. You have become more financially abundant. You have found other people that are interested in you and want to pursue you. And I understand that even though the divine feminine is only interested in her masculine, you are able to flourish. And I think that's the beautiful message that you can take away from this, is that you are capable of flourishing on your own, outside of your connection with the divine masculine, even though, of course, that's something that you would want and that you continue to manifest within your life is his return. But you are able to do life without your connection to the divine masculine. And so I think that's one of the stronger messages that's coming through right now. So as your divine masculine kind of figures out how to get rid of this karmic, or how to come back to you in a way in which you would take the divine masculine back into your life to continue your connection, I believe that is just where he's stuck currently. And he wants you to know that. He wants you to know that he wants to do right by you. He wants to speak his truth to you about what is going on and why he did what he did. But right now, the divine masculine is just in a state of confusion in terms of what he should do. So I'm going to pull a couple of romance angel cards just to see what kind of messages we get. The first one that came up, flirt. Extend your lighthearted energy to others. So I think what, Spirit is saying here, just thinking about your connection, is that you need to bring a little bit more fun into your, day-to-day experience. And if there are other suitors around you, this is an excellent opportunity to just kind of open up your heart chakra, to allow romantic energy, flirtatious energy, fun, just kind of opening yourself up to the fun and the excitement and the passion that does surround you within your life currently, as you wait for your divine masculine to come back into your life. And I think it's important for divine feminines to always remember, just as your divine masculine is out enjoying himself, making whatever decisions that he wants to make with his time, with other people, and he's, in this position where he's able to try to give emotions to another person that he wasn't able to express with you. Why should the divine feminine hold herself back in terms of enjoying herself, in terms of opening herself up to suitors that might be interested in her energy, because they do see the value that she possesses? So just like he can go off into another karmic relationship and decide to start something with someone else, I'm not saying that, it should be a tit for tat situation or anything like that. But if the message is to flirt and to enjoy yourself, why wouldn't you? Why shouldn't you? What's holding you back from that? I'm also getting the second message that came up, love yourself first. So I think this is just kind of confirmation of what I just said. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. So I think it's just a message for the divine feminine from source that you have to love yourself first. You have to put yourself first. We as divine feminines cannot allow our emotions, the way that we interact with others, the way that we open up our hearts to others, only be controlled by one person. And in this case, one person who is clearly a divine masculine, who is clearly in the 3D right now, in another connection that is not with you. So I believe that for the divine feminine, this message is that you have to love yourself first. You have to take care of yourself. And I think this kind of goes back to the strength card that we saw earlier, where you have to have the strength within yourself to take care of yourself. So those are the messages I have today from the divine masculine to the divine feminine on their connection. I hope this was helpful.